Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It just happened. Brazil bans X, Twitter. So, a court in Brazil made it illegal for Twitter to function in Brazil. Well, disclaimer. I'm all for freedom of speech as much as possible. The least control and infringement of our freedom of speech, the better. There are responsibilities with free speech, which is don't promote something about the minors. Don't, instigate to a riot or something violent. And don't create panic. Don't threaten. That's about it. That's kind of about it. Some people can support certain ideologies, but against violence. All right, what do we have here? I have 3 articles just to make my point and see what's going on between the communist Lula and Elon Musk. Now, just to make a little a reminder here, I put over there in the search box in my channel, Communist Lula. And the first one was in November 3rd, 2022, I think, when he got elected. And I said, Brazil's communist president Lula will be U.S. disastrous, pop. Brazilian communist starts his communist agenda. This was on the 2nd of 2023. Brazil angers U.S., pop. And so we have Brazil President Lula proposes, This Lula, I said, is a communist, not because I just dreamt about it. Go and check the easiest, lowest hanging fruit. Look at his, let's say, Wikipedia page. He's not running away from that description, but nevertheless, let's go and see what the articles tell us about this situation. Here, the first article, I chose Telegraph. I used only accredited sources, okay? So I can't be blamed over this and that. No, we don't want to do this, obviously. CNN, the Telegraph, and another liar, Associated Press. But I think here they will tell us at least certain pieces of information with a spin. Brazil suspends X after fight with Elon Musk. So the country of Brazil fights with one person. This is what you need to take from these imbeciles. So this is August 30th, today at 6:58 p.m. Here is the bad dude. Brazil has become the first Western power. Oh, now Brazil is the Western power. So Brazil is not cooperating with Russia anymore. It's not in BRICS. It's not supporting Putin. It's nothing like that. Now it's a Western power. You see how these guys are spinning now? Now, if you attack our bad boy, right, then you are my friend right here. Remember, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. There it is right now. This is the Telegraph. After a long-running dispute with the billionaire owner Elon Musk. Now, I don't know anything about the issue. I will tell you right now. I don't know anything about it. But I suspect that Brazil wanted some monitoring, right? Ability to monitor, or at least to moderate. More moderation, that means censorship, from X. This is what I feel. And Elon Musk said, screw you. They can't hit him with the advertisers because he's got the money and the people. They're going to ban him legally. I guarantee you is about you need to limit it. And he said, no, we're going to ban you. So who's the bad guy here? Well, obviously the government works in our behalf and they want to keep us safe. And they tell us what we can do, and they protect us, the people, from hearing things. Why? Because they're not humans. They are some kind of like Übermensch, kind of like superior, and that's why they're over there and we are here. You got that? I'm just kidding, obviously, but that's how some of them feel like. The move comes after months of wrangling between Mr. Musk and Supreme Court Judge Alexandre de Moraes over the latter's investigation of extreme right-wing content on X. Why? Because we got a communist right there. So left-wing, fine. Right-wing, no. Extreme. formerly known, including alleged hate and anti-democratic fake news. The Brazilians don't understand that you can hate how much you want. It's not illegal unless you act. You can say how much you hate X, Y, Z, and so on. Unless you start instigating to, hey, we should do this to those guys. I can say I don't like those guys. I can say I hate that thing. I hate that. I can say that. Legal. You want me to stop. You want to how do you call it? Monitor it. You want to moderate that. Censor me? Exactly. Only the right wing. Why? Because we had the Socialist National Workers Party. Socialist. That's Nazi. But hey, they were right-wingers. Go and check the Sousa's documentary. Dinesh D'Souza's arguments in some videos, and he wrote also a book, and he made some a documentary on were the Nazis or the fascists really on the left or they were on the right? Great arguments, better than I could make them. Why? Because he was very interested in the issue. For me, the issue was settled a long time ago, so I don't need to be convinced. But if you need to be convinced, listen to Dinesh D'Souza's arguments in some of his little speeches, lectures, and debates. Read his book, maybe, or maybe watch a documentary regarding that one. So, that's it. Some of that was relating to the storming of Brazil Congress in January 2023 by supporters of outgoing President Jair Bolsonaro, right-winger, right? In events echoing the 2021 riot at the US Capitol. All right, so we got it. On Wednesday, this bureaucrat, Mr. Morales, gave X 24 hours to name a legal representative in Brazil who would respond to his investigation. He also froze the account of Starlink, Mr. Musk's satellite company, which provides internet connections to many remote communities in Brazil, principally in the Amazon. Earlier this month, Mr. Musk had closed X's offices in the country while keeping the service available in a supposed attempt to dodge the investigation. On Friday morning, all eyes were on X in Brazil to see if the platform would remain operational. No, it won't. And I'm quoting, Elon Musk showed his total disrespect from Brazilian sovereignty and, in particular, for the judiciary, setting himself up as a true supranational entity and immune to the laws of each country, de Morales wrote in his ruling. If your laws are garbage, yeah, I stand with Musk 100%. And I think regarding this, yes, you just want to protect one side of your power against the other guys who want to take the power. So you want to ban them. Why? Isn't the communist in charge of you? Anyway, let's go to the second article. Comes from CNN. Right? Brazilian judge suspends X platform after it refuses to name a legal representative. No, after it refuses to abide or obey the laws. And this is the great judge. Looks very convincing. If he shows up in a dark alley asking you for something, I would do something. But anyway, can't say it. All right, we got ordered the suspension of Elon Musk's social media giant X in Brazil after the tech billionaire refused to name a legal representative. See, it's easy. It's just if you read this, read the first paragraph, it's like, what's wrong, man? They just wanted a representative. Look over there. After the tech billionaire refused to name a legal representative in the country. That's all, man. That's all you need to do. Anyway, so we got that one. Next one. Associated Press. Top Brazilian judge orders suspension of X platform in Brazil amid feud with Musk. Again, Brazilian judge orders suspension with this guy called Musk, who just endorsed Donald Trump a few days ago. Surprise, surprise. And the other guy is arrested and was arrested in France, right? Mr. Durov of Telegram. But hey, Zuckerberg is free. Thank God. Why? He's covered. He's got the immunity. He's got the star immunity. A Brazilian Supreme Court justice on Friday ordered the suspension of Elon Musk, social Musk, after the tech billionaire refused to name a legal representative. That's it, man. And it's the same thing. Remember, this is Associated Press, and it's the same start as CNN. start. Look here. Brazilian after billionaire Houston. This is the same shit. But hey, it's from AP, right? So CNN took it from AP. All right, my friends. Clear? Clear. Now, I understand that some people would like certain kind of speech to be banned. The problem is when the people doing that, supposedly in their name, the same people will come after them later. So when they will say, well, I want to say this, but those guys will say, no, you can't, we're going to ban your speech. These guys, you know what they're going to do? We're going to cry, shut the fuck up, and nothing else. Because they're weak. These are the weak people. The people who like to be channeled and told what to do. Because they're just in a state of prolonged adolescence, these guys. With a mentality and with a body sometimes. So they're okay with being told what to do. We have a strata, not a strata, the big mass of this unfortunate society nowadays in the Western world became pussified. Not because it just became pussified because he lived a better life. No. It was an active pussification of the society. And these weak people will be okay. They just tell me what to do, but leave me alone. They will not leave you alone. Eventually, they will come after you and your children and your life. I'm not saying they will, because they're going to need your work. They're going to make you work. Or if they don't make you work, they're going to make work the other part of the society, which doesn't want its freedom of speech to be infringed. They don't want to be told what to do by these guys. But those guys will support the weasels, the infantile. That's the way it's going to be. Let me give you I have this... I don't want to call it a theory because immediately they will jump into the CIA conspiracy theory. You remember when they first came with that one? After the assassination of JFK, FBI came with the term conspiracy theory. That's the first time. You can check that out, my friends. So today I went to an interview. In an interview there were 7 people. 7 people. There were 5. There were the technicians, the sound technicians, the microphone, the cameras, like 3 cameras, and so they were all white men. In charge of all these 7 people, I'm not going to tell you who was the interviewer. That's for the last. The second one was the in charge of all this was a white woman, a woman, and then the guy who was interviewing and doing this and telling everybody what to do was a African American. Now, you can say, so what? The same I said, so what? But in my theory, it's going to be like this. There's going to be a certain kind of people who will still have the same culture of hard work and get going and so on. And you will have the other ones somehow in charge of those guys. I saw that in the government. I worked for the government, for the US, the state government. And I saw who was in charge of whom. And I saw who worked for whom. Little by little, you're going to have the pipe layers, the construction workers. They're going to be one kind, and you're going to have the supervisors in a certain different dimension. The same in the military. You're going to have a certain people sent to fight, and you're going to have the other people which are still in the military. They will be the ones with the orders and telling you what to do and giving you information from 3,000 miles away. But we are all serving in the military. Some of them will die, the other ones will not. You understand what I'm trying to say here? If you don't, it's okay. You're going to see this in the next 20 years. If not, you see it now, if you see the trend. If not, in 10 years, maybe, I hope it doesn't happen to you. So for me, when I saw that, I was like, oh, an interview right here. 5 guys with the technicians doing this. But how should I put it? They were not the organizers, the supervisors who were managing the resources, who knew what to do. The manager needs to know too, right? I had manager. I've been around managers. I see how it is. I see how some competent, but most of them, no. Most of them ass kissers and opportunistic bastards. Anyway, that's life, you might say. But if you have a system that promotes this kind of people, then you're going to have a bad system. You're going to have the weak leading the strong. But you say, well, that means you're not strong. Not so fast. We have democracy. In democracy, the weak will outvote the strong. There you have it. That's why we have pussies and like weak people in charge of us. Why? Because the weak voted for the weak policies promoted by weak people that are weak. They are promoting these things. They really believe in those, some of them. So nevertheless, we have Musk here who's going to be punished, and we will be punished. The Brazilian people will lose. And remember, those ones who are celebrating this, they celebrate themselves shooting themselves in their feet. That's what it is, because they're going to come for you sooner or later. It's a mentality. It's not just in this case we just apply this kind of thing. No, they're going to apply the same technique, the same thing. We're telling you what to do. We're going to protect you. I lived under this system in the communist Romania. The government was protecting us, but government was formed by people as well. Some of them with 4th grade education. That's it. That's it. And they were telling the rest of us how to live, and in the name of protecting us. I don't need them to protect me like that. All I need them is to protect my freedom of speech, free enterprise, let it go, and the borders. That's all they need to do. The streets, we're going to do it locally. No problem with police departments and all that. We don't need those guys to protect me and be on with us right now. I'm waiting for Elon Musk to be arrested soon. I'm waiting for just talked as a big, not sign, as a warning. Tucker Carlson, or at least, let's put it this way, people that do not cooperate with them, with the agencies. And even if they remember, even if they arrest people who collaborate with agencies, part of the agencies, they do it for show. So they're still undercover. Like, for instance, Medvedev in Russia. I really much suspect that Medvedev, who was the most liberal, now is the craziest guy over there with all kind of statements and against the West. Was he such a chameleon? Could be. Such a good actor? Could be. But I'm waiting for the other shoe to fall from Medvedev. I keep an eye on him, like a hand. You know how the chicken is looking at you with an eye? That's why I'm looking at Medvedev. Waiting for him. Because when you don't want your cover to be blown, then you overdo it. The same with these guys. I'm waiting. I hope in the name of freedom, our freedom that we still have at least freedom of speech. That comes, freedom of speech is the foundation of a free society. If you don't have freedom of speech, you don't have a democracy, because you can't hear the truth. You don't have the freedom of speech for some to tell you the other side of the story, because they get arrested or get fired and they are afraid they will censor themselves. Therefore, you don't going to have a democracy. Democracy will be in a name, like in communist Romania. They have a democracy. Communism is supposed to be the perfect democracy. We're all equal, no classes, nothing. And Romanians went to vote for the president, and always Ceausescu got with 99.9% and so on. Now, obviously, there were lies, but people knew. What can I do but overthrow the government? That's what happened with the help of the other guys who wanted to destroy Romania and break it in a few parts. But in this case, this is Brazil. I feel sorry for you. You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for Milei. I suspect, and I said it many times, I am making a prognosis. In Argentina, there will be a revolution. Bloody revolution. This is how it's going to play. It depends on the military. That's all. In Argentina as well. In Argentina, the military decides to side with the protesters. It's going to be gone, Milei and all those guys. But the Americans will try a counter-revolution and so on. Now, if the military stays with Milei, they will shoot in the population. I'm talking about the repressive apparatus, police and so on. You don't like it? I don't care. Time will tell. Like in this case with these communists. I told you that Lula is a communist and Lula has the tendencies. He's got some good feel, but in his backbone, he is as communists. The communists are one-party system. That means only we are in charge, nobody else. But somehow it's democracy. Why? Because in the real democratic system, communism could not succeed. Why? It's about taking from some and giving to others, and keeping people who would shoot up because they're differently abled, to the same level as the other ones, or little nuances. That's how it was in Romania. That's why it was in Romania. And Romania was not a communist system. It was a socialist system tending towards getting to the communist system, led by one party. Everything else was banned. And that party was the Communist Party. So we didn't reach communism. You can't reach communism unless we're all robots or dead. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.